Good Saturday to you. Another nice day. Highs in the 80s. Not feeling as cool just because of the humidity. Kind of felt that way yesterday. It felt pretty hot if you're in the sunshine. Not a lot of breeze either. High is still in control. Still filtering the cooler airs east of the mountains and also a little bit of humidity off the ocean. So feel a little hotter than it actually is. That is slowly breaking down though. It took a little longer, and that's good. So that today and tomorrow will actually be pretty pleasant. But by Monday, humidity will pop back up and temperatures will get up into the upper 80s and feel like the 90s. And then we'll get to 90s starting Tuesday and then through the remainder of the week with daytime highs up in the low to mid 90s. And then we get some afternoon and evening shower and storm possibilities starting on Wednesday as moisture really returns. So yeah, the humidity will be even more pronounced at that point. And, your typical summertime showers and storms possibilities, especially if we get any types of disturbances to move through. And there's kind of a quasi kind of front kind of showing up here, blocking this high to the north. We'll have to watch because sometimes these highs are a little more pronounced or a little more capable of keeping our temperatures a little cooler. We'll have to see. But in general, at this point, we're looking like we're south of that cooler air with daily chances of showers and storms. Maybe a little more prominent on Friday. We'll have to see, as it looks like a disturbance could get involved, and that could be helpful. We are dry, y'all. I mean, we haven't had a lot of rain for a bit, and it's going to be a pretty dry week, and when it's this hot, it really dries up the ground really quickly. Here's another high to the north, kind of sliding again. A lot of these are still getting locked up north of us, so the temperatures are not looking to cool down too much. But maybe late in the period, as we're seeing here, this high will be a little stronger and be able to conquer anything. Then we got to watch. This is the big hype on the internet, is that there is a disturbance off the African coast that will come up. In this particular one, because this high is to the north, this is a blocker. And it could block anything from kind of retreating or going out to sea. What we want to see is a front come through and cause a weakness and potentially move and kick that thing out to sea. And that's what I hope happens. And climatologically speaking, that is very possible, just the way that things do happen. So that's kind of what I'm hoping occurs here. But when you see this strong of a high, I mean, for one, this is a strong easterly fetch. This could be much cooler temperatures just in general in the late period. And this low, which is a hurricane here with a very low central pressure, is going to have a hard time punching in that high. But I do think, as is showing here, I do think we're going to be just fortunate enough that it's going to recurve. And I think that's pretty typical what we're going to see. That's kind of what I hope does happen, because we don't need any threats of tropical madness here on the East Coast. All right, so let's look a little bit about, I think it's good to look at our temperature anomalies here to show that we're going to be, it's even better to look at the upper air temperature anomalies. It just gives you a better sense of where we're sitting temperature-wise here in the United States. And you can see we're still cool here. And this is the upper level, so it's not what's going on at the surface, but it's just showing you that it is below normal. And then eventually here, as we head into next week, you're going to see the temperatures that go from the blue to the more, typical normal temperatures to above normal by especially Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And these are the temperatures that are going to be up in the 90s for sure. You can see them peaking out there in the 90s. Here's a really strong cool shot out of the far northwest. When it cools down here, it's going to shoot our temperatures up. So we're going to stay very, very warm for a period of time here. And so, I'm thinking 90s are going to kind of roll all the way through next weekend if things the way they look. Again, it depends on how much moisture gets involved. It's maybe that high to the north. I don't know. Got to watch. But I think at this point, the temperatures and the heat anomalies and stuff look really, really warm. Then we're going to see this strengthening. We have a really strong low coming in and a really strong high to the north. This is going to put our temperatures back near normal. Now we're getting to the low to mid 80s for normal temperatures. So that's nice, and maybe even cooler than that. That was that strong high that you saw strengthening. When you get a low that's strengthening, you get kind of counterbalance with a strong high. And this is much cooler air. This is way late in the period, but if it comes true, we have a little cooler shot. Temperatures in the 70s maybe instead of the hotter temperatures. But it doesn't look like it's going to last. And so, this looks like a lot of heat building, and it's going to shift east. Not a surprise. So maybe there's some relief for a brief period of time, and then maybe another warm up. But anyway, that's kind of what it looks like in the upper levels, so that kind of gives you a sense of what's going on. So now let's go with the actual chances of rain. You saw that it was pretty much based on the scattered showers and storms. That's not a lot of organized rain for us at all. And so what that does mean is, yes, there could be rain, but depending on whether or not you get a shower and storm, depends really on how much you get. We're now up a little bit higher than we have been, quarter to half an inch is kind of what it's showing here. Again, you get a nice thunderstorm over top of you, and that's quite a bit more rain than what you would expect. And the last thing to look at here is kind of what we're looking at for the long range temperature forecast. And as I was mentioning, we are stuck in a really hot pattern for a long period of time. So temperatures in the 90s is just seeming like it's going to roll pretty much, unless we happen to get a cloudy day. Really bake it in the middle part of the country. And then after this period is when maybe we get some relief if that high to the north strengthens. But it's also in response to that hurricane off the East Coast, which we hope stays out to sea. All right, that's the weather roundup. Hope you have an awesome Saturday, awesome weekend. It's been your Loudoun County Weather Outlook.